stick to their candidate pretty much. I like the people that walked out tonight said, I don't want to vote second. I want to vote first for my guy or my woman. I'm leaving. And I think there are people with strong views. And I think there's an argument for that. There's also an argument for a big, when I had a paper out, when I wrote for the paper in San Francisco, I wanted to have a Rose Bowl primary early January before these caucuses. A huge state, great diversity, great weather, a great place to go cover a campaign for a month or so. Live out there for a month, really get to know the people, get the people in a big state with a lot of sunshine and a lot of positive feeling, a lot of Hispanic people, a lot of African-American people, and let them all pick a big winner and get started fast instead of just screwing around with these little states for weeks at a time. I mean, 3 in a row, we don't really get anything accomplished until we get to South Carolina. 25% of the Democratic voters are African-American, and they're not really in the game. I mean, that's really awful. You talk about voter suppression. This is it. Jason's right. It's voter suppression. You're saying black people vote last. I mean, it's wrong. And we do it every year. And everybody says, well, they like it in Iowa. Of course they like it in Iowa. It's here. Of course they like it. But Rachel, I think the reason they stick, not just because of the New England tradition of standing up, and I love the idea of standing up at a meeting publicly, but I think the reason they keep if they go too much to a primary here and it begins to look like every vote counts simply, you go in, you vote, you leave, then they're afraid they won't get first anymore because then there'd be the first primary. And New Hampshire's the first primary, so how would they have the right to that? I don't know. Michael knows a lot about this from the Republican side. We got to get Tom Perez in here and beat him up a little bit and make him tell us, why do you still start in Iowa? Because it's a strange decision. It just is. Sorry, I'm here. I'm here, and it's cold.
In talking to Tom and talking to other Democrats, there is some suspicion that between now and the 2024 cycle, that the Democrats are going to relook at this process. A number of the candidates have already expressed their frustration with this, particularly those who felt that all the enchiladas were placed on the table and you had to be there for Iowa. Well, my plan is different. I have a different strategy. To Chris's point, if I'm trying to really focus on African-American voters, I'm not going to do that in Iowa. I'm going to spend my time in South Carolina. I'm going to spend a little bit of time in Nevada. So for me, all this beggars a national primary. And to set this thing in a way that we get the candidates to compete across the country. Think about this. These candidates have spent the last year plus in one state. And that's not going to happen in the other 49. And yet they're going to make that dispositive for how they do in those other 49 states. It's just not fair.
Well, it's at least going to be first, if not dispositive. I mean, it's momentum. What do you get out of Iowa? You get momentum, right? You get momentum with donors. You get presumably momentum for the other early states. But then everything, I mean, like a week.
It's a different dynamic.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.